Hello and welcome to our episode Mindset Mastery. I'm your host Ahmed Assaf, and today we have an amazing guest, Mr. Germain. How are you today?
I'm doing well, and you?
All good. Germain is one of the entrepreneurs in the technology field, and today he would share with us the growth mindset and the technology and how his mindset helped him to be an expert and a successful entrepreneur. So the first question is to you, Mr. Germain. How did the growth mindset help you in developing in this domain?
Okay, so I think I can go back to when I look in entirety. I think I can go back to the key aspects for me, which is um there's a phrase that people use, which is begin with the end in mind, right? So one of the things I look at is at the end of the day, when all is said and done, like what am I going to leave? What am I going to leave behind? So the objective is obviously to max out all my capabilities, right? So it helps in technology. I think the influence is a very important thing. So my mother was a computer. She studied computer science. So she studied computer science. My dad, an entrepreneur. So I'm a tech entrepreneur. So it kind of like fuses everything together. And with the exposure with computers from an early age, from Windows 3.1 as early as that, it made me to have a fascination in making all these fantastic things work. How I wanted to had a passion of how can I be the person that creates the magic rather than just the person who experiences it. So, and that is always wanting to create magic, wanting to see that great, satisfied look on people's faces, be it clients, employers, employees, and things like that. That's really I would say, the driving force to be able
Mhm.
to be the best.
You will have the potential because of your mom and your dad, but if you would talk with someone, he don't
Yeah.
have this potential and he wants to start his own tech company or startup, what would be your advice to him? Where
Um,
to start? What
so
to do?
okay, if you want to start a company, right? Um, I think you should get a pen and a paper, right? A pen and a paper and write in very clear terms. What do you have now and what do you want? Right? So let's say you want to start a tech company. Oh, I just have a passion for tech. Perhaps I do not know I don't know any form of technical programming language. I don't probably have money. I do not have like the funding. I don't have things like that. So if I know, okay, I do not have all these things, then the question now is, what do you have? Right? So we're going to look at what do you have, what can you use? And you'll be very surprised that a lot of times we have more resources than we can be able to see because it's easier to accept resources as money, connections as the only resource because you look at it and say, what can you do? So to give you an example of a platform, right? Casual Nigeria was a fintech platform developed in 2014. At that point in time, the market was not even ready for it at all, right? And I didn't even have funding. So I looked at what did I have? Nothing. Like exactly nothing. Like zero with a dot in the middle, right? So I looked, okay, I want to create a website, right? My technical programming skill was geared towards C++, like Windows-based programming. Web, I was pretty much there. So I looked up free tutorials. They are free. They're on YouTube. Go and learn. I didn't even have a laptop. So I had my friend that had laptops, right? That they will use their laptops during the day. Then at night, they are asleep. Then I use that period to, learn everything. Then also your community. You look, okay, I don't know this. Who do I know that knows this? You go closer to the person, right? Because one thing I came to understand was I naturally improved because the guy in the bottom bunk is a dev guy. There's another dev guy. There's another guy that does graphics. There's another guy that does backend. Without when looking back, without me being conscious, I started improving. So your community, things like that. Then what can you give? You can give time, you can give effort, right? So I thought of so many ways of developing a website. Then first thing is develop a WordPress website, the easiest one to do, right? Then made the interaction very simple and basic that people could easily reach out to me. Then the groundwork and the rest, you could be able to do it. So just to put it in a very good summary for anyone that is out there, you have to look at, okay, I want to create a big company, but where am I today? And look at it that you never have nothing. You just don't have what you want yet. You never have nothing. So that is one key thing. Maximize the use of everything you have, and you'll be able to
That's
get
really
money.
amazing. We are born rich. Just we have to look within us. What do we really have? Because
Exactly.
we are sleeping on acres of diamonds, but who are looking for the diamonds on other pastures, was we never saw our pastures or our lands that it's full of diamonds.
Yeah, it's very, very amazing. That's one of the beauties I usually encourage people is if you are a bootstrap entrepreneur or you are bootstrapping, you should be very glad for one thing, right? You are never going to be afraid of zero because you have started from there, right? So a lot of times people are afraid of running out. How can you run out when you started from zero? Like there's nothing worse than zero. So if you know how to run your company from zero, from the ground up, you don't need to bother about, oh, that $3 million investment is going to run out and I have nothing else and have nothing. That fear is gone. So I
Yeah.
think that's another very good encouragement for that.
So through your, let's say, 10 years of having this successful business, there was for sure, because as success, it's a like roller coaster. It's up and down. It's like cycles. So what
Yeah.
was your driving points, or what was your powers and for growth and
Um,
continuity? Yeah.
okay. So generally, what I would say is, for me, I would say, it's for growth. I think first off, I'm looking at how can I develop, how can I provide more value to clients, right? So I look at what I'm having today. What can I do for the client that is new, that is fresh, that adds extra value to them? Then another thing that also was a very key point, especially when things go up and down and the rest, is um, you are not that special, right? There's somebody out there just like you that wants what you want. So it helps you to not stay complacent, right? Every day, you know that there's someone out there, you cannot just sit down and say, oh, I'm good, that, oh, we're already winning, you know? And that, and lessons, and the other part I look at is lessons are lost for, are learned usually during the tough times, right? So let's say a very common thing is to just give an example, right? So one of the challenges we've had with for a long time in the country was payments, right? But if we didn't have those challenges, there would not be payment processors like new startup payment processors and the rest. So some of them they started to solve their problems based on the fact that they couldn't find solutions to it. So I think that is very, very important. Then lastly, you have to be ready to lose it all. That means, look, I have to win. There's no backup, there's no okay, if I don't win, that's not there. We have to win, we have to win. That's all. There's no excuse to that.
That's the
So
consistency and the persistence for successful mindset.
yeah. Yeah, we have to wait. Even till today, I woke up today and I said, okay, what am I going to do today? Or what am I going to push through today? And got like three things. And I said, this is just for today. Then we move to the next day and pick another thing, and so on and so forth.
And previously you talked about the principle that you have used in growth is one is greater than zero. Could you elaborate more on this concept, and how could we, any entrepreneur can apply it in his business?
Okay, so one is greater than zero. It's something I got inspired by Gary Vaynerchuk. If I got the name correct. Is because we're in a faster paced world, right? So everyone is seeing likes, clicks, comments, and the numbers are all great. So when you see that little comment or little like there's a high probability of being discouraged, right? So if you're in the social world, and also if you have a client, you say, "Oh, I want 10 clients," but just get one. So a lot of times we tend to see that we all want the top spot, but we do not understand that, why if you want to be the top person, you can as well take 10, 9, 8, 7 till you climb your way up top. So the major inspiration with that is, as long as I achieve something, even if it's once every day, I'll be a lot better than someone who's waiting for that big break every day. It might come, it might not come. Even if the person has it, over time, I think I'll be better than the person. And it shows, obviously, I'm a big enthusiast in fitness. So in fitness and the law, I always believe in consistency. And I've seen it in my life. So I'm very, very, I'm very, very, very convinced that if you do better, or if you do as little as possible or as consistently as possible, no matter how little it is, you would always grow. And where we are today, I took a look at our LinkedIn follower count, and we had over 1,000 plus. And I remember exactly the time when we had just 5, and we was all of us in the team that were just following our LinkedIn, right? Then eventually one person clicked, another person, next thing, oh, we have 20, we have 30, next thing we have 100, we have 200. I remember clearly when it was 900, now it's like 1,000 plus, and as long as you keep on doing it, you wouldn't know when the time will go by and you see that, whoa, I have this huge amount. And same thing with clients, same thing with business, same thing with fitness. And I think just little efforts are just great, as long as they're consistent.
I really love this concept, because every day you have to get better 1%. But the secret here is you have to identify that task that will give you the 1%. It's not only, okay, I want to get better 1%. That's really great, German. What would be your last advice for entrepreneurs, or for someone he's afraid of starting his own company, or for someone who is stuck in his business? So what would be your advice to them?
I think the first thing, should I say, the more morbid kind of advice would be, think about how you'd be when you're 70 years old and regret. Then the more, or should I say, the more practical advice would be, think about something you regretted that you wish you did. So you don't have to wait till you're 70 to get that. Think about something you regretted that you wish you did, an opportunity you didn't take. Like probably you didn't try out for the football team in high school. You didn't try out, you didn't try out that dance group that you thought, oh, I'm not sure. And you are too old to try it again. Oh, I didn't try out that podcast. I didn't try out something. And as someone who has tried out a lot of things, you would feel a lot more gratified by failing and knowing, okay, I'm not good at this, rather than perhaps this could have been me. So I prefer to fail and know that, or I wouldn't call it fail. I prefer to know my ceiling, right? So there are some things that I've done and I do that I'm probably not an expert, but I know the level I'm at. So I would say, okay, probably let's say mixed martial arts and things like that. I know, okay, this is my level. And I know that rather than me saying, oh, I didn't know, man, I would have been a world champion had I tried this. So yeah, if you try something and worst case scenario, you fail, but you would never have regret. So I'll take that option.
I really appreciate that we have to go for this self-discovery. And ask ourselves first, what do we really want? And from that point, we have to make an irrevocable decision for change, because unless we change, nothing around us will change. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you, German, for this amazing episode, and looking forward to meet you again. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. This one will be greater than zero, definitely.
Thank you.